few sobering facts. Number one, we are one of the most watched shows in the world. That's actually the good part of it. That's not sobering. That's great. But
did you hear that? Out of the billionaire companies, little old chosen. I don't think they're little, but I'm just saying compared to them monetary wise, reach wise, distribution wise, connection wise, who's letting them, giving access, those gatekeepers, those doorkeepers, out of all of that, one of the number one watch shows in all of the world. Who doesn't want to advertise on that? I hope Dallas can see the writing on the wall, because this is, of course, what the whole point of my show is as well eventually. But really, somebody needs to just go ahead and create. We had PureFlix, but it got sold, and who knows what's going to happen with it. It had a rough run. It was a good start. It's something some of the bigger ones back in the day had an opportunity to do, some of the bigger channels, but they never really took advantage of it. I saw TBN they were mainly preaching, things like that. They would do movies every now and then, but they never really built that out. They had the opportunity, and maybe they didn't. I wasn't on the inside, but I never saw that as their mission, and it may have not been. I saw that. After that, I saw PureFlix come out, and that was started by a Christian actor. I don't know his name off the top of my head. Then it was sold to Paramount. I don't know how that's going to go. I just don't trust a secular company to run. You don't want a secular company running a Christian company, just point blank, period. There needs to be a lot of things in place legally, and I don't think that PureFlix was in a financial position at that time to be able to put those things into play. Like, for example, and I've used this before in the past, Hobby Lobby. The Hobby Lobby CEO is not going to pass down Hobby Lobby to the family members, something of that nature. I don't know what that entirely means, if they're just going to benefit financially from it, whatever. Not my concern. What my concern was, well, okay, you have Hobby Lobby and you have all of these Christian aspects to it, where you can go there and buy a cross, you can go there and get religious books, you can go there and get things that have Bible verses on them, and may not sound like a big deal to you, but that's not really that much anymore at a store. You go to Walmart, there's not a lot of Christian paraphernalia available. These last standing places like Hobby Lobby, what Hobby Lobby could do is Hobby Lobby could write and say, hey, I'm going to sell the company, and here are the guidelines, and they're non-negotiable, and somebody will buy the company with the guidelines. And I kind of went into that. One of my first recordings, I went into that when I talked about Carl Karcher and what was going on with Carl's Jr., which he was a devout Catholic in Anaheim, California. He would go to Mass every day, and his headquarters was right next to the church that he was a part of. And then a little bit after he dies, a couple of years down the line, you got people putting out the Devil Burger at his restaurant. It's just ironic. So, Hobby Lobby, if he doesn't put key things into play while the company's in a position to do so, they may lose that chance. So I see what Dallas is talking about, and I see his vision. I see him trying to protect the integrity of this, and that is really important.
But fewer than 5% of the viewers pay for it or donate to the Come and See Foundation. Think about that. So less than 5% of people all over the world who watch this show contribute something financially towards.
Wow. So less than 5% of people have paid for it.
The show. Now, That's actually in some ways good news. It's sobering, but it's actually in some ways good news because it means that there's so many people who are getting to watch the show for free, because some people wouldn't be able to watch it if it wasn't free. If you weren't donating to come and see, if you weren't purchasing tickets to see it in theaters, or purchasing gifts, or any of the other ways that we somehow are able to generate income, if that wasn't taking place, then these people wouldn't be able to see it free. So it's both good news and sobering news at the same time. Here's another sobering fact. A movie released to theaters makes so much more in 1 month than we do. Much, not only in 1 month, but sometimes even in a year. Now, again, let me give you an example. Our former partner, Angel Studios, released Sound of Freedom. Remember that movie? And in the United States alone.
Okay, so it looks like that they were partners before with Angel Studios. And like I said, they had to partner up with Angel Studios because we didn't have any network that was strong enough. We just didn't have anybody to go to. And they were willing to help Dallas at the time. And they were super cool about it.
It grossed in theaters over $180 million. This is information that you can find online. And total internationally, when you add up everything, it was over $250 million in gross receipts. That's just in theaters alone. Now, here's the sobering fact. That movie in theaters alone.
And mind you, people hated on that movie. And they blocked it. And it still did that well. And here we are. You're watching the actors go on The View, still tongue-in-cheek about Jesus and like what color he is. And some people, it's really important to them. I mean, obviously, she made a comment about Jesus being blonde hair, blue-eyed. I don't think Jesus was blonde hair, blue-eyed. I don't really care what color Jesus was. I'm just glad Jesus was Jesus. So the Son of God, Word, came down in flesh, because we need that. But to think of the open reception of it, and the fact that so many people are saying that they want to watch it, I can see this being a big success in the box office.
Generated more gross in just a couple months than The Chosen has ever generated gross-wise in an entire year. And guess what? Here's what's even more sobering. With a movie, the money that comes in can be kept. With us, a show that's multiple seasons, we must keep spending money that is generated for the next season. As I talk to you right now, we have 3 more seasons left in theaters alone. Now, here's the sobering fact. That movie in theaters alone generated more gross in just a couple months than The Chosen has ever generated gross-wise in an entire year. And guess what? Here's what's even more sobering. With a movie, the money that comes in can be kept.
That's important. So maybe I will go and just watch that first episode. I thought, hey, I'll pay for it when it comes to streams. But now that he's saying that, maybe we do our part. And hey, maybe we don't want to see the whole thing. We just go and watch one episode. It's still supporting it. They're not going to hold it against you. You didn't sit there for that long amount of time. He makes a good point right there. Really changed my mind about waiting for it in theaters. I think I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it.
With us, a show that's multiple seasons, we must keep spending money that is generated for the next season. As I talk to you right now, we have 3 more seasons left, along with all the translating and marketing and keeping our company going just for this show alone. Think about that.
Think about that. So if you love The Chosen, and I know people love The Chosen because every time I do videos about The Chosen, people watch them and they get a lot of views. And I'm a brand new channel. So I'm going to tell you this. If you watch The Chosen and you're listening to me right now, all you have to do is go to The Chosen, copy that YouTube, that trailer, and share it on your social media. You might share it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Email it to somebody, however you want to send it. I can see, and here's where I'm going to get into. I'm going to save it because I have a a statistic. I love, being business minded. I have a little bit of some numbers and stuff to share with you. I'm gonna let him finish cooking, and then I'm gonna tell you about it.
So we've done 4 seasons already, but there's 3 more to go. And all of the things that I mentioned to you previously, just now, about all the costs that we have, continue. We can't just take the receipts from a theatrical release or any kind of release and just go, wow, that was successful. That's a big profit. That's great. It has to keep going.
Yeah.
So to be very clear, and this is very important, it is extremely expensive to be free. And without us getting creative and without us figuring out ways to generate income so that we can...
Sorry guys, I had to fix my color. I was like, what's wrong with my camera? But I'm like, what's wrong with my camera? And I fixed it, so we're good. Let's keep watching.
Can be sustainable and profit and, have a career. Our previous path wasn't proving to be sustainable. And so we have to keep coming up with ways for this to be sustainable and for you to be able to see this show free. So just talking about our recent theatrical release, in fact, right now you can still see some of the episodes in theaters. Bear in mind that just this alone, the theaters get a large chunk of the gross receipts, the distributor gets a large chunk of the gross receipts, and then when we get a chunk of the gross receipts, that's just a portion of the costs of our company alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Business 101, this is gross versus net. I could tell you I made $1 million last year. That was gross. I didn't mean anything. What did I net? If I'm making pennies on each item I sold, and I only sold 3 items, I might have made 9 cents. Now, if I sold 1 million items, I made 3 cents gross. Net. That's $3 million. So understand, bringing in all this money, it's all got to get paid. Not gross. After everything is paid, you're going to get left with the net. And that's the profit. That's the bottom line. That's what's important. That's business. That's what's, even for a production show about Jesus Christ in the New Testament, that's what's needed. So Dallas is cooking here. One thing I can say, he's always been really transparent, and I'm really enjoying. This doesn't scare me. This is an opportunity, and he realizes it's an opportunity, and he's going out to his fans, and I'm just hoping everybody else sees it as an opportunity as well. This is an opportunity to show up and show out for everybody.